Sup guys, Knightor here, and we are bringing you UBL Week 2 versus defending champion Uzi Gunner. I'm not gonna lie guys, I am scared for this matchup cause god dang, I got like nothing for Infernape other than my Marowak here. So well, I'm gonna go over what he brought and what I brought. I brought Armaldo, because it's like the only thing that could really take 2 hits from Mega Aggron, plus Rocks, plus it also gets low kick, which actually does not do very much to Mega Aggron, which makes me sad. Brought Alolan Marowak, because it checks Mega Aggron, checks Infernape, and it also checks Whimsicott. Oh, it just kind of dies to Zoroark and Alomola. We brought Mienshao, aka Chuck, yet again. Mainly for support this time, because he's mainly just Life Orb. At this point in Chuck is, this week's Chuck is like literally just Life Orb, U-turn, low kick, Rock Slide, and I think Fake Out. I'm trying to remember what my set is, because I'm kind of recording this like a little late. So, yeah. I bought P2 because, you know, it's a fat duck and it's kind of one of the only things that can really deal with Alomola because it has Toxic and it's like, that's pretty much it. And I brought Specs Primarina because, goddamn, that thing is just painful to get hit by. Nothing wants to take a Moonblast except Mega Aggron, except it doesn't want to switch into a Scald, which it would definitely not be happy about. And for the last thing, we brought some heat with the Crook. All I'm gonna say is heat was brought with Crook. We didn't get to use the heat though. That's all I'm gonna say because you know this is postcom. Uzi brought Whimsicott, Crobat, Zoroark, Aggron, Alomola, and Infernape. I'm more surprised he didn't bring Kyurem Black during this matchup. Well, the only reason I think he didn't bring it was because 1 of Primarina, and 2 because of Mienshao. That was the only thing like literally the only speculation I thought he didn't bring it. We didn't really have much of a discussion afterwards about why he didn't bring certain ones, but other than that, I kind of guessed most of his team spot on, because the only thing I wasn't too sure that was gonna come was the Zoroark. But other than that, I kind of guessed everything else spot on. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into the match. I'm going to turn the game audio on and lower it, because goddamn it was loud in my ear. So yeah, I led off with Armaldo, because I didn't really have anything else to really lead off with. And he just leads off with Whimsicott, and I'm like, okay, this is not a horrible thing for me. He immediately just clicks U-turn, and I'm like, I get my rocks up for free, I guess. So he just U-turns out straight into Aggron. Which is Shiny Aggron, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but yeah. So we have Shellman here, setting up rocks. No big deal. No big deal. I reveal I have leftovers. Yet again, not a big deal. He immediately goes for Mega Evolving. I'm assuming he's immediately going for Rocks or he's immediately going for Heavy Slam. I just click Low Kick because it's like it was my safest play. He clicks Rocks. I immediately just click Low Kick. I'm like, there's no downside here. I do around 20-something%. I think it was like 22, 23, which was like min roll, I think. He goes for Heavy Slam. I don't die, but I don't live very well. So I just go for another low kick, you know, just for chip at this point. So I'm like, if he wants to stay in and kill me, he's gonna be forced to take a nasty hit afterwards. So he goes immediately for another Heavy Slam. I'm sacking my Armaldo, which kind of pains me, but it did its job, just chunking down this horrible Aggron, and I send in Chuck. Chuck immediately would kill this Aggron if it tried to stay in. I'm like, it's probably not going to. But just in case it does, I'm just revealing low kick. See how much damage I do to Alola. Not that much. I'm taking Rocky Helmet plus Life Orb, so I'm like, yeah. None of this. I'm just gonna do some more damage to Alola to switch out. Considering I have Regenerator, it's not that bad. And I immediately send in Primarinix. I'm like, there's probably a Toxic coming my way. I won't be too mad. He goes for Wish. I'm like, well, that's not horrible. That's not good. He switches out the Alola. He switches in the Crobat. I'm like, okay. I clicked Moonblast because I wasn't too sure what he was going to really switch into, or if he was going to stay in or not. Click Moonblast, does around 50%. I'm like, that's not bad. But then he gets all its health back. I'm like, well, I have to switch this thing up because I don't want to take a Sludge Bomb to my face or a Poison Fang to my face. So I immediately go into P2 because I'm not concerned at all. I trace it. I wanted to see what ability was. He was Inner Focus. I'm like, okay, that's not horrible. Goes for Brave Bird. It's gonna do literally nothing. Yeah, it literally did like 30 damage. He gains some health back with Black Sludge. I'm like, I'm just free to click Discharge. Click Super Fang. Gets the 10% Mitch, which kind of sucks. I go for Discharge. You know, just trying to lower it or trying to power it. Also, if you guys hear my dog, I am sorry. He switches into the aggro, and I'm like, I'm not too concerned about you. I can live at least one hit. So I go for Discharge, I get a crit, and I get a power. I'm like, well, that's just RNG, but I was gonna outspeed him anyway. So then I go for another Discharge. He goes for Toxic. I'm like, well, at this point, it doesn't really matter. So I get poisoned. I'm not too upset about that. So I'm like, I could just click Discharge again and kill this thing. So I just do it because like he didn't really have a switch into Discharge. So he sacks the Aggron. I'm like, the wall is dead. One of the two walls are gone. Then he sends in this. I would pause the video right now, except Pokemon does not have that option, which makes me sad. I decided to stay in because, well, if this thing was packing Earthquake and was not Scarfed, I immediately died if I swapped into my Alola. So I have to make sure it is Scarfed, or at least banned, or something else, or it's not freaking bringing Earthquake. So I'm like, I could scare him out and pretending I'm Earthquake. Pretending Earthquake, and I'm like, okay, let's see what he does. He switches the Alola, which reveals it has the Regenerator, so I'm like, okay, I can just click Shadow Bone, and it should do enough. No. This thing is so fat, it just takes a hit. It knocks me off. So I lose my Thick Bone. I'm like, okay, I can still kill as long as I don't get a really low roll. And I get the lowest roll possible. I was just like, I get the lowest roll possible. He sends in the Crobat. I'm like, okay, but why? I click Shadow Bone. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna freaking... Hopefully he's not gonna Roost stall me. Or he's gonna reveal Roost and he's gonna take a nasty hit, probably. So now it's pretty much gonna be several turns of just Roost and Flare Blitzing and hoping to burn. And not doing, and just slightly not getting a burn every time, and not doing enough damage every time. And most of these are not even high rolls, they're just mid rolls, which kind of sucks. It's just like, if he wasn't a defensive-ish Crobat, this thing would be dead. And a Alola would kind of probably die to something else, probably. So now we're pretty much just bit of spam. Not much you can really do about it. I'm sorry guys, but you're gonna have to somewhat live through this, because I don't know how to use Adobe Premiere very well. So at this point I just went, okay, I'm just gonna click Earthquake, see what I do. And it's like, it's doing around the same. I'm like, can you just kill me? So he just opts to actually decide to kill me. I'm like, thank you! Hopefully you can die with me. If you don't, I am not too concerned. Goes for Brave Bird, kills Alola. I'm like, almost die? Or die? No, he doesn't die. He pretty much, I think he took like, probably like 3 damage there. So at this point I'm just like, I'm sending in shock. I'm making it die hopefully. But now he switches that out. I'm like, well, it can't come back in because it's gonna die to rocks. He sends in the Whimsicott. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to take a hit from this. And then he reveals the weirdest berry possible. He reveals the Chillin' Berry. I'm like, why? Why do you even have that? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna switch into Premier Unit because I'm like, it's probably it's not supporting a grass move. If it is, it's probably Leech Seed. So I'm like, worst case I take a Moonblast. I'm like, you Moonblast me and he gets a Spit Off drop. I'm like, ah. Yeah, he Moonblasts me again. I'm like, that's not very nice, bro. Take a Moonblast back to yourself, sir. And I literally just annihilate the Whimsicott from existence. And then he switches the Alola back in. I'm just assuming at this point he's just switching it in for Regenerator. Yeah. He just swapped it in for Regenerator, swapped it back out. Swapped the Crobat in to die to rocks for pretty much free. Lets it die, and now he switches in the Infernape, and he's just getting information. It's like, oh, it's a Moonblast. Now he switches in the Infernape. I'm like, I'm at a point where like I cannot really take a close combat to my face. Oh, I also didn't know why he didn't reveal something else. So yeah. He got a crit, which honestly did not matter, like, at all. Because I calced it, I'm like, a min roll would, like, make me live, like, at 3. So I'm like, at worst case, I would have maybe killed it, but then died to something else. So I'm like, yeah, it did not matter. So at this point, I just click Fake Out. I'm like, I'm switching in Chuck. I'm going to click Fake Out. I'm like, I would switch out, but I kind of can't. So now we're gonna switch into our last thing, being Crook, and be Scarfed, and probably, hopefully, I don't know if this thing was actually Scarfed or Banded, because he never actually told me. I was assuming it was Scarfed. I'm like, he probably just didn't want to risk pretending. It's like, I don't know if he's Scarfed or Banned, let's not take the risk, and probably die. He switches in the pretend Alola, which is actually the Zoroark. And another thing happens here is I get the lowest freaking roll again. I'm like either I crit the Alola hard or that's the Zoroark. And now he finally finds out, okay, I am Scarfed. Okay, so like Crook just gets a free kill pretty much. And now he sends in the Alola to get more health back. Well, take rocks, then get more health somewhat. I just go for Earthquake, because, well, it's the only thing I could do. And if he switches in the Infernape, it just dies. Which is exactly what he did. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what he was. If he was Scarfed, he would have been fine. And now it's just down to the Crook and the Alola, and it's like, oh... This thing has Wish, so I'm like, I could maybe beat it depending on how much damage I do. So, just to test the waters, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna click Earthquake, see how much I do. Do a decent amount. I'm like, okay. Wish. I'm like, yeah, that's to be expected. Please don't have Protect, to dear God. And then Uzi reveals Protected. I'm like, well, I'm gonna lose now. So I'm just gonna... So at this point, he just PP stalls me. I'm not gonna make you guys watch the whole sequence of this, because this is gonna just take forever, and it's gonna be, well, boring as hell. So yeah, at this point, Uzi's just Wish, Protecting, spamming. And at this point, I was just pretty much fishing for a crit, which, sadly, I did not get. I'm actually gonna... just fast forward the turns a bit. I'm gonna put... Yeah, he reveals he had Icy Wind. So he's just gonna chip me down, because his other move he had was knockoff, so we knew his whole set, so I'm like, at this point he was just gonna chip me down. I'm just skipping the video a bit, because it's just long sequences of this, and I'd rather just not waste your whole guys' time trying to see all of the stall. It's like, I'm not upset about pretty much losing to this, it's just like, it's like, I don't like stall, most people don't like stall, it's just, it gets under my skin, it's just not fun to play against, hence why I'm happy we don't play Leo. And another thing we hate about Nintendo is slow load times, like, come on! This is one thing we hope for the Switch, is that when this thing is not so gosh darn slow. And now we wait 300 years. There we go. So yeah, it's pretty much just protect. And now I pretty much, yeah, I reveal I have no more moves. I click I have struggle, and it's like there's nothing left I can do. He outspeeds me at this point because he icy wind me like I think like 4 or 5 times, so I pretty much have like no speed left. So yeah, he pretty much icy wins me and I can't do anything, so I'm like, I lose. Either way, GG to Uzi. I sadly had nothing to do with the gosh darn Alola Mola at the end, but hey, it's the way of the game. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. However, that is another 0-1 loss, which is not horrible, but it's not great. It's like, differential-wise, it's not bad, because if we could start getting some wins, we could turn that negative into a positive, which would be great. And also, our team is not bad, but needs some improvements, which I'm actually going to get to in this video. And also, GG Uzi, I'm sorry I did not say it earlier in DMs, because I was super salty, because I just like stall as much as anyone else. So I am sorry about that for being slightly salty, but you can't really blame me for that. Well, you kind of could. It's just stall. But Uzi did apologize for that, because he didn't want to do that either. He just, like, he didn't see any other option of winning other than that. So, not much you can do about it, but hey. Also, we have made 2 new transactions that actually go effective week 3, because I don't know if they're actually up on Twitter as of the moment. However, for this week, we have activated, we are dropping Alola Marowak because it disappointed me with all kinds of damage rolls. Goddamn you, Alola, and we also dropped Dragonite because, goddamn, it's just horrible. It's just not my favorite. We dropped Dragonite for Latios because somehow it was still available, even after I just chose not to pick it up during the draft. Because it was an option for me during the draft, and so was Latios. Except Latios got picked up by Debs, and I'm like, you know what? I like Latios, so let's pick up that. And for Alola, we are replacing it with Blaziken. However, I'm not allowed to use Speed Boost, obviously, because Speed Boost Blaziken would obviously not be Tier 4, because it would definitely probably be Tier 2, if not Tier 1. Because setup, just setup speed. Just be disgusting. So, again, GG to Uzi. I believe I play Silver next week, which, well, it's probably also going to be hell, considering he has the 1Z move that kills my Mega Venusaur. Either way, I will see you guys next week, so for now, bye-bye!